Oh my god. That is the biggest fish I've ever caught. Look at that. There's some offshore humps over here I might try to hit too. Dang, there's schooling right there. It's a little shad. Little shad of schooling. Okay. Got the old Nico rig. Let's see what we can catch on it. I'll throw it in that hydrilla right there. Oh, let's try the old Mega Bass swim baits. I don't throw a lot of swim baits, so let's see how this goes. we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. Please don't get me. There we go. Okay. Tiny one, but it gives us a clue. I guess that's a pound-ish. Okay. Definitely gonna retie that. I've caught more fish on this Maverick crystal shad. It's just a fish catcher. I thought I was hung up on rocks. He hit that so freaking hard. I thought I was hung up on rocks. And I'm glad I stopped here. I almost didn't even stop here. I almost ridden off this whole freaking creek. Oh, there we go. Yes, sir. Oh, that's a better one. That's a better one. Woo! Yes, that's a better one. $115, okay. Okay, well, let's see how many of them we can catch over here. I figure there's bound to be a few more. They're right here under the bridge. That is where they are. Ooh, Oh, that's a big one. Oh. 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 Oh, that's a big one. Oh. Oh, it's barely hooked. Oh my God. That is the biggest fish I've ever caught. Look at that. Oh my God. Oh. Oh. Oh my God. Oh my God. Whoa. Oh. I can't even think straight right now. Oh my God. $4.15. Five. That's a 5. That's a 5. Yes. Oh. Oh my God. Woo! Son. Oh. That's the biggest fish I've ever caught. PB. Oh. Whew. Yes, sir. Man, I am shaking. Hey, Rapala 110. I think this is Ghost Shad. Got those VMC hooks. They held up super well. Need to retie probably. Oh my God. Ho 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 ho. I need to take a minute. Little guy. Ooh, he's fighting though. Hey, stop it. You're gonna be the one that freaking hooks me. Ah, see? You're gonna be the one that freaking hooks me. Oh, that one feels good too. That's a decent one. He barely got it. Barely got it. Okay, not the most graceful release ever. I bet there's more over here where it's shallow though. At least that's what I'm betting. I don't know if I had something or if I was on rocks. That was wicked. I just saw a bass chase a shad and the shad jump out of the water. That was crazy. Same situation. We got wind blowing from the east up under the bridge. We're on the west side where it's not as much wind. We'll see if we can replicate a pattern here. There we go. I knew I had something. Is that a spot? That is a spotted bass. Beautiful spotted bass. Beautiful spotted bass. Huh. Didn't expect to catch a spot out here at Lake Guntersville, but they're out here. That's a good size for a spot. I'm gonna weigh him. Man. Yeah, pound spot. Okay, so there's definitely something to this pattern. I mean, one catch is luck. Multiple catches is a pattern. There we go. There we go. Yes, sir. He was in that grass right there. Oh, he's got it. Nice. He had it sideways in the mouth. There we go. Little one, little largemouth. Knew if I threw it in this grass that I was just going to get caught up in it, so threw right outside of it and it got him. It's just such a natural looking color when the water's this clear. it just looks like fast food. Oh, 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 that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh my God. Oh my God. Is this another big one? Oh, it's sideways. That's a spot. A sideways spot. Sorry, buddy. We got some spots over here. That is a beautiful spot. Look at them colors, man. That is a beautiful spot. We'll take him. It's about 1.5 pounds. Little tooth tongue. Nice. All right, let's get him back. I thought he was a big one. Turned out he was just sideways. Foul hooked, as they say. Dude, these VMC hooks are the deal. They are the deal, man. I've caught probably, I don't know, 8 fish on them today, and they're still super sharp. Like, super sharp. Oh, he barely got it. When I slowed it down, he got it, which tells me I might be going just a tad too quick on this. There we go. That feels like a good one. That's because it's rocks. Freaking rocks, man. Oh, no, that's a fish. What? What in the world? That is... Alright, let's try a worm. I haven't thrown a worm very much. This is my favorite color worm. It's June bug. Or sorry, lizard. Let's throw a lizard. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh my goodness. No! Oh my God, that was a huge one. God. Golly, man. That was a huge one. Golly. What is up, y'all? So we left the lake pretty late last night, so I didn't get a chance to talk about what we did yesterday. But we're gonna talk about it for a second. So morning time, we tried to throw some top water. Tried to throw this walking top water. Tried to throw a ribbit frog. Tried to throw just your standard walking frog. Couldn't really generate any bites. And that's the first time that I've been to Guntersville in the summer and not been able to get a single bite on the top water. But hey, it was kind of crazy conditions yesterday. We had wind blowing from the southeast, east-southeast wind. Man, it was tough in the morning. So we ran around trying to do that for a little while. We tried flipping some stuff for a little while. Couldn't really get any bites on that. So this is what I picked up right here. This is what I generated all of my bites on yesterday. This is my jerk bait setup. So this is a Lew's TP2 6/8 medium fast action rod. That's my jerk bait setup. I've got a 7.2 SLX on that. So that's what I throw all my jerk bait on. This right here yesterday was the magic. I'm gonna show this to y'all so y'all can get a good look at it here. So that is the Rapala Maverick 110 jerk bait. And this color I think is called Crystal Shad. I love this color. It's got little green hues, little purple hue on the top, dark green on the back, little white belly, but mostly in the middle it's like translucent. And it just looks so natural in the water. So that was really the key yesterday, is finding out or figuring out something that I could throw that was real natural looking. Because the water where I was, which was down in Browns Creek, if y'all know Guntersville, so the water down there was super clear. And this is the problem that it presented. And everybody that I talked to at the end of the day at the boat ramp was like, man, yeah, it was tough. You know, we were just fighting wind, because again, it was 5-10 mile an hour, sometimes 15 mile an hour gusts of wind from east to southeast. So that just really, that in the combination with the clear water made it tough, because you had to throw something that looked real natural looking in that clear water. So what does everybody usually pick up when they do that? Well, they pick up a minnow. They want to shake a minnow. So yeah, that's fine if you got forward-facing sonar, you got electronics, you can ping a minnow and shake it and get bites all day long. Great. I'm not gonna say I got no electronics. I do have a C-map on my phone that I use to kind of look at the structure under the water, but that's all I got. So for me, fishing out of a John boat, what I usually have to do is I have to find a bait that I can cover water. And for me, yesterday, that Maverick 110 right there. So where I was throwing this thing was the key, because you can't just throw a jerk bait anywhere. well, you can, but you want to go to high percentage places. So what I did was I started throwing it on causeways with a bunch of riprap causeways. That's usually a great high percentage place to throw a jerk bait. Now, what I figured out was that I couldn't throw it on causeways and riprap banks that were super wind blown. I don't know if it was just it was blowing them out, or they couldn't see such a natural looking bait in the current and the wind, but I couldn't get any bites on riprap banks that were wind blown. So if you kind of imagine wind blowing mainly from the east, right? East. I was pinpointing the causeways that ran relatively north-south. And what I would do is, and you saw this, I was getting on the west-facing side of those causeways, where there was just a little break in the wind current on the top of the water. So whereas 90% of the lake was current flowing, and not to mention trying to fight all that in a tiny boat, I got in that 10% of the lake just on the other side of the causeways, throwing that jerk bait along that riprap bank, and that's where I got 99% of my bites yesterday. So that was the deal yesterday. That was the ticket. A lot of times when I'm fishing out of my John boat, out of my tiny boat, I have to cover a lot of water. I have to pick baits that I can cover a lot of water with, so that it increases my chances of finding a fish. I mean, that's just all there is to it. I did run back to the back of Browns Creek a little bit later in the day and try to do some top water fishing and some punching that y'all saw. I did hook one fish on my punching setup. Well, not really my punching setup. So this is what I hooked it on. This is what I was using when I hooked that fish. So this is my Johnny Morris Carbon Light Bass Pro Shop rod, but this is a 610 heavy fast action rod. Really what it is it's my skipping rod. So if you're asking, man, why were you punching with a 610 rod? Well, that's a good question. I don't know what to say other than I wasn't thinking. Well, I'll tell you what it was. I didn't think the vegetation in the back of Browns Creek was gonna be as dense as it was. And I have a 7.4 heavy rod that I had a topwater frog tied onto that I was trying to save. So that's why. You know, when you're running just a few rods, I've only got 7 rods. I know some people don't even have that many, so I'm not trying to complain, but I only got 50 rods. I don't have 20 rods. I got 7. So, and I don't want to be tying and untying and baits all day long, so I try to kind of make do with what I have. And so I tied on that punching rod. This is what I was punching with, by the way. So this is just a standard lizard, June bug colored, had a 1 ounce weight pegged. That's what I was punching with. So I think that's why I lost that fish, honestly. If I'd had my 7.4 rod when I went to set the hook on that bass, I think it would have penetrated better and buried that hook really a lot better in that bass's mouth, and probably would have got it in the boat. But you live and you learn. Man, I think it would have been a good one. It might have been another PB. It might have been another PB because it felt big. You never know when you're pulling those grass bass through, and they're just wadded up in a bunch of eelgrass and hydrilla. They all feel 20 pounds. And then you can get it on the boat and you're like, oh, it's just a 2-pounder. But I had my hand on that fish's mouth, and it would, big old mouth, guys, like big old mouth. So I feel like it was a big one, but I don't know. I can't sweat it now. But we did get our PB bass yesterday. And again, on that guy right there, on that one. And if you had asked me what I thought I was gonna get my PB bass on, I probably wouldn't have guessed a jerkbait. But here we are. So 5-pounder. I know that's not a huge PB for a lot of y'all, but I hadn't been fishing for that long, so it's pretty good for me. I'm happy with it. But other than that, fun day at Guntersville. I will be going back to try to catch me one of them big uns that I know Guntersville's got. I mean, if y'all know anything about Guntersville, you know it's got some 8s, it's got some 10s, it's probably got some bigger. But that's the biggest one we've caught so far. So thank y'all for watching. If you liked the video at all, please subscribe, like, comment, all that. It just helps me grow the channel and put out more content. So smash that like button, comment, subscribe, wherever, and we'll see y'all next time.